15. Now it's Wilson. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Let's go now.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. 64 yards. So all the way down close to the goal line. Good blocking up front. Helped to spring him.
When this drive is over, he's got to get to the bench and sing kumbaya with the offensive line, doesn't he? Big-time openings for... Gets him all the way down to the 2-yard line. Let's see if they can pound it in.
Ready.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. They'll get it up the middle. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
3rd and goal, Winston. And Evans calls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Here's Khalif Raymond to return. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny what the offensive coordinator say right off the top? He's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
On the carry, it's Wilkins. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Green, 39! To throw on second down. Boyle. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. To throw on third down. Boyle. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up fourth down.
They've got good playmakers on the offense. Side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number one that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you run into big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. They'll hand it off now. Williams. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
.37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. They'll run it here with Wilkins. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Boyle. Flushed out right. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
Well, you admire anyone trying to pick up an additional couple of yards. They're just not worth it when you take shots like that. Quarterbacks have to stay in the game and stay on the field.
Here we go. On 3rd down. That's Wilkins. And the penetration too strong. He won't make it back to the line of scrimmage.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On the NFL scoreboard, bit of a surprise going on in Miami. And the Eagles out in front early. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. First down, Winston. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball. And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Jameis to throw it. Complete. He finds Bray. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The Buccaneer first. Winston to Bray. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Offside. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving. Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you. Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off. When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down. And nobody leaked. Big play. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down? I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it? It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive. Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril. Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things. On 3rd down, Boyle. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. This is taken at about the 14. Shedding through the defense. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover...
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. And they've got it here with a first down. Winston. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Everyone's got four down. 60, Mike, 60, Mike.
Winston now. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Williams. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. On the ground, this is Williams. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. The former All-Pro Marcel Darius brings him down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. And now the Tampa Bay field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, this from 46. And this one is right down the middle. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This fielded at the 2. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get in the ball. We'll see if they can do it. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Operating from the gun. Boyle. Going for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The Vikings on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 19. Off the play fake. Boyle. open here, Adam Thielen. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. We're in the second quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him, maybe even have a third person in the area, and try and dissuade them from throwing him the football. Make someone else beat me for a while, because I don't know that their talents are his. Because when he gets his hands on the ball, he breaks down my entire D. Someone else, they may not make the same type of a play.
Well, we know his talents are very good. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. The tackle goes to Harrison Smith.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the second.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick, and he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And
he fires one that's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
They begin the drive with Williams. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now Winston. Sliding out of the pocket. And he checks this one down to Williams. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches.
Everyone's got 4. 4 down. Where's that up?
They run. It's Williams. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down.
If he indeed got it, he didn't get it by much. This is a great push up front, but I think the nose of the football does make it over the line to gain. And whoa, that was definitely cutting it close.
They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams, and he gets it down to the 32. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Sub. Let's go.
They'll try to throw now. Winston. And Brake, the tight end's got it. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Ready? Blue 80. Boys, that up. 60, Mike. 60, Mike. 60, Mike. Boys, up.
A first down throw for Winston. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Now Jameis on second down. Airing this one out for Evans. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Bucs on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be third and forever.
Mike 61. Sonic. Sonic. Ready? Mike 61. Mike. Hey, sub.
Working out of the gun, Winston. He's going to fire one deep up, and this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston, and the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. The tight end can kind of be that diamond in the rough secret weapon that you have, and right there they show you why.
And it's becoming less of a secret, isn't it, partner? Every game that we do nowadays, the tight end is a featured receiver, not just a blocker, as in the days of old.
This is taken at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Well, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. He's going to sling this deep down, looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety here, Ron Parker. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off, actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Ready? Blue 80. Boys, that up.
Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Now Williams. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be second down. From the gun, Boyle. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
On 1st and 10, Boyle. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Off play action, Boyle. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Ron Parker. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So we've hit halftime here. So he comes out of nowhere. He's got this handlebar mustache, greasy hair. And he says, would you rather eat a jar of mayonnaise or 3 sticks of butter? And I look, well, all right, never mind. 3rd quarter action now. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So this is they've got to be primed now for a victory.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. J.J. Watt in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football, not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Take it in at the 22. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he'll get this up to about the 40. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They run it again with Williams. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Williams. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. 2nd down, Winston. Flush to his right. And he rifles one incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
False start, offense.
Well, this O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because we were grading them on their performance in this game. A lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
3rd and long for Winston. Escaping the pressure right. And this one is incomplete. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Throwing on 1st down. Boyle. That's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
To throw on 2nd down. Boyle. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and react into the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming in.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Isaac Yiadom in there to pick it. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The 20. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 34 yards there and a first down.
I'm still an old-school football guy, and anytime you see a big-time running play, that fires me up. And if I'm on offense right now, in the position they're in now, inside the 10-yard line, I think after the way they've run it, they've set themselves up for a good play-action pass opportunity right here.
So now, following the big play, they've got a first and goal all the way down at the 10.
Hey, let's go.
Oh, how about this on first and goal? And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it second and goal.
Ready. Black 22's hot.
They'll give it to him up the middle. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks. So stuff for no gain on second down brings up a pretty interesting third from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, but they're still left with a long 4th and goal.
This has not been a banner game for the defense, not in any shape or form, but I love what they're doing right now. My admiration for them really is jumping up. What a great stand defensively, trying their best to keep them out of the end zone.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And now out comes Minnesota. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Looking to throw on second down. Boyle toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
3-19.
Throwing on third and long. Boyle finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Meanwhile, up in Atlanta. And the Falcons have added to their lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. To throw is Winston. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and it's a second down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
4 down. Ready. Blue lady.
Winston. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. So a pick six there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick six going the other way.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will get him one closer. This will be fielded at the 6. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Back to it after the pick six. Winston buying time to his left. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Open man is Thielen is complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. This quarterback now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Boyle throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
No. Check. Patriot.
Throwing again. Boyle. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And now here is another interception. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected?
And Owen coughed it up, and the Vikings pick up the football. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line.
Hey, whatever happened to the days of just getting a fumble recovery? Everyone's into taking it the other way and trying to create points themselves, aren't they?
Well, they are, and now a terrific opportunity inside the 5. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. Following the fumble recovery, Boyle. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
Green, 39.
Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. Able to slither by. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Now a second down throw for Winston. And Blake has it over the middle. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. With a quick slant, good for 8 and a first. Winston now to throw on first down. And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A.J. Boye with a pick. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step one. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. On first down, Boyle. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
Now let's go.
On first and 10, Boyle. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost himself some yardage there.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Throwing on first down. Boyle. Open man here is Conklin. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. With the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. To throw on third down. Boyle. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. In for the score. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. So he's hit pay dirt twice, but still they're facing that deficit here in the second half.
So they're going to see if they can continue to find ways to get him the football, because obviously something is working for him to find the end zone twice. In any event, however this turns out, he's going to be hard to deal with in the film room, isn't it? He's going to want to know why he's not getting more passes thrown to him.
Those big tight ends are getting greedy. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. A look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in.
And a loose football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, two-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. Following the fumble recovery, Boyle. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
He's going to get it running right. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on third and goal. The backup Rob Kelly, his first carry. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. It's about a 3-yard pickup there, but more importantly, they're still a few yards away here. It's now 4th down and goal. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans. 2 touchdowns to his credit so far. Charles, I'm curious, do these wide receivers, what do they go in with each week? Is it different week to week for the goals that they personally set for themselves, do you think?
I doubt that it's different from week to week. Maybe because of game plan, they know that one guy might be featured more than the other. But all in all, these guys are looking for 100 or more yards in receiving. But the biggest thing, getting into the end zone. And how about him? He's gotten there twice in this game.
He has indeed. Here's Winston. Over the middle to Evans. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. From the gun, Winston. Complete, he finds Blake. And down he goes. but he takes it up to the 40. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Winston here to throw. Steps away to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Now Winston. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll run it with Williams.
Let's convert.
Right back to him on first down. Powerful running. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
They're looking to throw this. Winston. It's caught right around the 6. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. And they take a knee. Well, taking that knee, maybe just a sigh of relief. They withstood a big fourth quarter comeback. Able to hold on, though.
Certainly looked like they had things going their way, didn't it? And in the fourth quarter, they had to just hold on. As you said, furious assault on them, but they were able to get it done, take a knee, and head to the locker room with a win.
Well, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall just a little short, but give them credit. They were able to hold on, withstand that comeback, and ultimately win it by the slim margin.
And bottom line, when it's all said and done, they don't ask you how much you won by. They just want to know, did you win? And that they did.
So for the Buccaneers, they remain in the hunt for a first-round bye as they move to 11-3 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a...
They call a podcast Poppy. King goes, I see they tryna copy. Diamonds in the chain, bust down wrists. And you ain't never seen no like this. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop, whole game in the chokehold. I be out on a late night, opposite a play fight. See sign break night, this break night. My wristwatch is like a break light. And you can get it right on your gravesite. So tell me something I don't know. $50 pizza when I'm eating in Soho. I heard that you in love with the stuff in your in them. Hate me, they hate me. What should I do? Keep getting money. It's funny, I was just like you. Super Bowl Sunday with the facts. Security guard told Kevin Hart to relax. Oh! Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't